This smartphone sports a big 6.4-inch displays with water drop notch, which Samsung calls Infinity U displays. The bezels aren't thin but are acceptable for the price. Samsung has retained the Exynos 9611 chipset from the Galaxy M30s. This is an octa-core processor with great performance. For graphics, it has the Mali G72 GPU. You get 6GB of RAM and a choice between a 64GB storage variant and a 128GB of storage variant. The device is fairly quick to load up apps, however big apps do take slightly longer. Since there is plenty of RAM, multitasking is very easy. The Galaxy M31 sports a quad camera setup at the back and a single 32MP selfie shooter. The primary camera on the Galaxy M31 has a 64MP resolution and 1.8 aperture. There is also an 8MP ultra-wide-angle camera with a 120° field of view. The other two are 5MP depth sensor and a 5MP macro camera. Samsung's camera app is the same as before. Photos turned out well and have decent details. The smartphone enables HDR automatically if required. Switching to the wide-angle camera is easy and you can get a wider field of view. This phone is capable of separating subjects and backgrounds when shooting close-ups. Photos taken in low light looked good. Rear camera can record 4K video at 30fps. There is a single 32MP camera on the front. Selfies taken with the Galaxy M31 were decent when shot with sufficient lighting around. The front delivers good quality pictures all around. You can also record 4K video with the front camera. The Galaxy M31 packs in a big 6000mAh battery with 15W fast charging support. The overall design of this phone remains similar to its predecessor, the Galaxy M20, but Samsung has made several improvements with the Galaxy M21. The 1080p OLED notch display is now 6.4 inches, up from 6.3 inches. The phone will be available in black and blue. Internally, the specs are also improved. The Galaxy M21 features a faster Exynos 9611 processor. The RAM and internal storage of its base model have increased to 4GB and 64GB. On its rear, there are now 3 cameras rather than 2, thanks to the addition of a new 8MP ultra-wide camera alongside the 5MP depth sensor. The resolution of the main sensor has also been bumped up from 13 to 48MP. The selfie camera now features a 20MP sensor up from 8MP. There is also a rear-mounted fingerprint sensor, a USB Type-C port and a 3.5mm headphone jack. This phone packs a big 6000mAh battery with 15W fast battery charging support. Doing well in the Indian market is important for Samsung, especially after India had surpassed the US to become the second largest smartphone market in the world. However, Samsung's market share in the country declined between 2018 and 2019. Samsung released this phone to win back buyers from Chinese rivals, whose phones have stolen market share from the world's largest handset maker. Samsung Galaxy M30s smartphone will be launched on 29th September 2019. The phone comes with a 6.4-inch Super AMOLED touchscreen display with an aspect ratio of 20:9. It is powered by an octa-core Exynos 9611 10nm processor. It comes with 6GB of RAM. As far as the cameras are concerned, the Samsung M30s on the rear packs triple camera setup consisting of a 48MP main shooter and a 8MP ultra-wide lens along with a 5MP depth sensor. There is a 16MP camera on the front for selfies. This device is based on Android 9.0 Pie and packs 128GB of inbuilt storage that can be expanded via microSD card up to 1TB. It is powered by a 6000mAh battery with 15W fast battery charging support. It was launched in opal black, sapphire blue and pearl white colors. The Galaxy A30 bound to make a positive impression with its design and build quality. It is slim and feels literally light as a feather. The panel of the phone is dominated by a vibrant 6.4-inch screen with a U-shaped notch at the top housing the selfie camera, and there's a sizable chin below the display. Considering everything, the Galaxy A30 is certainly one of the best looking devices in its price segment. The A30 houses a 6.4-inch Full HD Plus display with 1080 by 2340 pixels resolution and 19.5:9 aspect ratio. The phone features a dual lens setup with 16 megapixel primary sensor and 5 megapixel ultra-wide sensor. The latter has the same 123-degree field of view as Samsung's new 2019 flagship, the Galaxy S10 Plus. For selfie lovers, there's a 16 megapixel camera on the front. Even though the phone feels extremely light, Samsung hasn't compromised on the battery part. In fact, it comes with a massive 4000 mAh battery. Samsung Galaxy A30 is a gorgeous smartphone with gorgeous screen, appealing design, Android Pie based clean software and a massive battery. The Samsung Galaxy M30 has a gorgeous AMOLED screen and looks just awesome from the front. The front camera resides in a U-shaped notch, which is inconsequently smaller than the V-shaped notch on the Galaxy M20 and M10. The Galaxy M30 has the same Exynos 7904 chipset that we see on Samsung Galaxy M20 and Galaxy A30. Samsung Galaxy M30 have 3 camera sensors at rear. This extra camera unit is a depth sensor that makes the live focus mode so much better. The other 2 rear cameras remain same, a 13 megapixel sensor with 1.9 aperture lens and a 5 megapixel wide-angle shooter with 2.2 aperture. The selfie camera, however, has a higher resolution 16 megapixel sensor. The battery backup on the Galaxy M30 is excellent. The phone can easily last for a day of heavy uses. It supports fast charging and Samsung also bundles a fast charger in the box. If you are not much into high-end gaming, would value display quality over the camera performance, and are restricted by a budget, the Galaxy M30 won't disappoint.